In this unit, we will introduce you to the main functions of the stress response, how stress can help us, and the concepts of arousal or activation and valence or value to better understand emotions and self-regulation. We will also guide you through one activating exercise and two calming exercises, which are self-regulation techniques. We expect you to be intrigued to know the survival purposes underlying the sensations in your body when stressed, and interested in how arousal relates to optimal performance. As you have learned before, stress is a natural, vital system response that helps us produce adequate behaviors to the stimulus in our environment, such as the fight or flight response when we feel endangered. But in our complex environments where danger can be interpreted in so many different ways, can stress help us perform better or worse? Is there an amount of stress that is good and an amount of stress that is bad? Let's follow the evolution of this graph, where we can observe the interaction between two axes. The axis of performance, ranging between low and high, which relates to our behavior to the stimulus in the environment, and the axis of stress, again ranging between low and high, which is the level of physical energy that we mobilize to that response, according to the way we perceive the stimulus. Considering the performance axis, where do we want to be to improve our learning? In the high end, right? And considering that stress is a state of arousal, alertness, if we think about our daily lives, when we are at the low end, we feel drowsy, tired, sleepy. When we are at the high end of the axis, we feel agitated, nervous, and overwhelmed. So, if we relate stress and performance, this is the kind of graph we get. Where would the optimal place to be in this chart for a good learning? Let's come back to the relationships between how we feel and how we learn. Is there such a thing as an optimal amount of stress or optimal moods for learning? Or should stress always be minimized or avoided? What do you think? Two psychologists studied this over 100 years ago and found an important relationship between stress and learning. Their finding is referred to as the Yerkes-Dodson law. The Yerkes-Dodson law is shown in this chart and was the result of scientific studies that have been replicated in more recent years. This chart shows an inverted U-curve or an upside-down U. Stress is simply defined as our level of alertness, arousal, or energy, and is represented on the horizontal axis from low to high. Our performance or learning effectiveness is on the vertical axis, from low to high. What do you see in these points A, B, and C? Let's take a closer look. At the bottom, X-axis is stress, or our level of alertness. We can all probably relate to these findings. At point A, our stress energy is too low. We lack motivation, don't feel like doing anything, and don't perform well. We just don't care about what we are learning at this time. At point C, our stress energy is too high. We're feeling nervous, anxious, or scared, and performance suffers. Maybe we're about to take a big exam, but no, we didn't learn the material well, or have to make a presentation and can't stop our hands from shaking. Point B is where we want to be. In the middle zone, we perform well. We feel alert, engaged, and challenged. The main point is that from scientific studies, we know that there is an optimal zone for learning and performance, like Goldilocks and the porridge, not too low, not too high, but right in the middle. But the Yerkes-Dodson law doesn't apply to all kinds of learning and all kinds of tasks. For example, if we're doing a simple repetitive task such as completing as many simple math problems in a given amount of time, like a race, sorting and responding to emails or messages, cleaning up. Then, high energy, alertness, stress leads to better performance. This is fairly intuitive. However, if we need to be creative, solve a complex problem, to think and apply our knowledge, then Yerkes Dodson law applies. Our best performance occurs when we are in the middle zone, feeling alert, engaged, and challenged. Thank you.